like to tell you a little bit about my little custom car here, the Aztec. It's a car that I've owned for 30-some years now. And it's got quite a unique history that I'd like to talk about a little bit. The car was bought by Bill Carr in 1955 when it was brand new upon his mustering out from the United States Army. He immediately started trying to get the car customized, taking it to the Barris shop in Linwood, California, where it was mildly customized. Upon the finish of the first custom, Bill wasn't happy with the outcome. So at this point in time, Bill is living with George Barris. They rented a house together in Los Angeles. So he asked George to design one of the most outrageous cars that he could think of designing at that time. Now mind you, the car was brand new then. So the customization was carried out largely by another Bill named Bill DeCar, who worked at the Barris shop as a metal man. The car took till 1957 to complete, and shown in Portland, Oregon in December of 1957. From there on, it was shown all across America, at least 5 times going across America at every major show from the East Coast to the West Coast. In 1958, it won the Best Custom at the Oakland Roadster Show, which was quite a prestigious award. In 1961, Bill decided he was sort of tired of the custom car scene, and he put the car up for sale. It was bought by a fellow named Bobby Wilcoxon, who turned out to be a murderer and a bank robber. He was #1 on the FBI most wanted list, and he ended up owning the Aztec. Well, the Aztec eventually was confiscated by the federal government, and it was auctioned off in Tucson, Arizona, where Mr. Wilcoxon had it stored in his grandfather's house. The car was bought by Sonny Dayout, who lived in Portsmouth, Virginia. So now the car ends up on the East Coast. Sonny kept it for a short time and then sold it to Bill Holtz, who was an ISCA show promoter, and he campaigned it throughout the Midwest for another 2 or 3 years. At that point in time, Bill had it repainted and reupholstered. So the candy was gone. It was just a ruby red color and black upholstery. At the Cleveland show, Bill decided to sell the car, and Walter Trapp, who lived in New Jersey, bought it. So now the car ends up in New Jersey. It needs a reef done, and Walter takes it to a body shop to have it restored. Well, the car is completely disassembled down to nothing. And at that point, this fella had some federal problems, and the whole shop got confiscated by the federal government once again. The car ends up in a junkyard in Roxbury, New Jersey, sitting on the ground, no doors, no engine, no transmission, no rear end, just laying there on the ground, being drug around by a forklift. Now this is where I found out about the car. We're looking at probably the mid-70s. I tried to buy the car from the owner, who incidentally almost had the car crushed. Within 1 week, they were going to crush the car, and he went and rescued it. So at that point in time, I tried to buy the car, which went on for about 10 years. And I finally ended up buying the car from him in 1990, and I started on extensive restoration, mainly at my garage at home, and other people helped me out along the way, of course. The car had been done in quite an outrageous array of custom tricks, and we had to try to duplicate the paint. And the paint was spectrographed. The original overspray was spectrographed by House of Color, and they duplicated the paint, which George Barris originally had mixed. It's called honey gold, and it is honey gold. When the sun hits it, it lights up gold. I want to talk to you a little bit about the running gear in the car. It's got a stock 283 Chevy in it. Originally it had 3 2-barrels on it, which I decided not to put on. I do have power steering, and I did add power brakes because I originally had conceived of driving the car quite a lot. I changed the rear end to a 57 Chevy rear end, which has got a little bit better ratio for a turbo. It has a 400 turbo transmission. It's running 14-inch wheels with black diamond radial tires. Got an external oil cooler, got an aluminum radiator, and it's got everything inside the shifter and brake pedals. Everything is stock. The car is 99% stock running gear. Probably the biggest change is that the car was originally lowered with drop spindles, and I decided not to use those, and I used just dropped coils. And the rear springs are de-arched with blocks. And that's pretty much about it. The car's a great runner, and I wouldn't be afraid to take it anywhere. I'd drive it anywhere. I did take it to Daytona one time. So it's a good car, and I like it. So now, like I said, I have the car 33 years. I've shown it, not as much as I wanted to show it, but this is what it is at this point in time. It's a great car, it's quite unique, and its history is quite unique. And I'd just like to say, I hope you enjoy the car and as much as I have for the last few years. And thank you.